The realness of boxing broken down to its core. The analysis.
I say it like it is, and I will continue to say it.
History.
I got milk, baby.
The sweetest of the science.
Boy, come on, man. Stop playing.
The art of the science with the realest Justin Adams.
Let's get it on.
Welcome to the Art of the Science podcast. You here with the realest, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy, it's your boy, Justin Adams, holding it down for you per usual out here in the Chicago streets. You know what I'm saying? Had a little special for you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't drop on Friday. I'm definitely gonna drop today. We had the SOTG show. My boy Chris Route, shout out to him, had to work 6 hours at a baseball game. So sorry for coming out to you Saturday. I mean, we got some news to get through for sure. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to follow the social medias, JA_the realest, at Art of Sci Boxing, ARTOFSCI Boxing. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe and like the podcast as well on SoundCloud, Google, and Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm dropping today instead of Friday. We still got a little news. We got some Canelo Sweepstakes updates. We actually got a couple a couple amendments being made for the Nevada Commission. We also going to give our condolences to Travell Mazion and Tom O'Shea. And, you know, not too much going on. The star of these cards were not in the main event, but you know how it goes sometimes. But, you know, sit back, relax, kick it with your boy. You know how we get down.
What? No. What is this?
I'm the realist, Justin Adams, and welcome to Aots, Art of the Science, the realest boxing podcast out here in these internet streets.
Well.
Realest boxing news, unbiased analysis, breakdowns, and previews.
The most diabolical this side of the Mississippi.
Don't forget to follow me at JA_the realest and Art of Sci Boxing, ARTOFSCI Boxing. That's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Go Google that shit. See what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Alright, so during the week, there were a couple of fight cards, you know, Top Rank, still putting out more cards, you know what I'm saying? A couple of main events were removed, even though it's kind of weird, kind of an awkward situation to try to maneuver through, but Tuesday's card involved Michaela Mayer. She bumped up to the main event after Jamel Herring's match with Oquendo was postponed again because Herring again tested positive, even though the test he got the same day that he was supposed to fight came out negative, which sucks because he was already pulled off the card and he's expected to come back in August. However, Michaela Mayer was bumped up to main event status and won with a wide decision, a one-sided fight, the whole fight. But the star of this card again was your boy Clay Collard, bro. Former UFC fighter, now has gone 4-0 in the year 2020. And think about it, he's had 4 fights, and it is July. You know what I'm saying? He almost got that Navarrete schedule, but he won with a technical knockout in his fight, and he's developed somewhat of a cult following for the most part. I mean, his fights were fun to watch. Like I said, he's a former UFC fighter, but now he's 8-2 as a professional boxer, and he wants to continue to fight. He wants to continue to become a better boxer, which he said on Tuesday. So it'll be good to see Clay try to keep developing, you know, keep that momentum going for himself, because other than that, the only reason why people know him is the fact that he's out here providing fun fights. Ain't nothing wrong with a guy that provides fun fights. And then on Thursday, you had Felix Verdejo coming back. He actually was bumped up to main event as well after the match with Mariaga and Yap was canceled because of COVID positive testing as well. But he dominated in his fight, first round knockout, and he says he's ready to get back into the mix of things. He's ready to be back as a top lightweight. You know, he mentioned Lomachenko. I don't think he's ready for Loma yet, but you know what I'm saying, that's just me. I'm just the realist here, you know what I'm saying, that's all. But Verdejo, it's good to see him get back into the ring after his situation when he had the motorcycle accident. He tried to come back, couldn't come back because of the injury. it's just good to finally see him back in the ring, be able to do his thing, and, you know, build off the victories that he's built for that. But yeah, man, Top Rank keep pumping out these cards, man, these showcases. And actually the viewing numbers aren't the best, but they're also not bad. So most of these cards are coming up towards 300, 400,000 on average, where I think the biggest fight they've had is the Stevenson fight, which is one of their first, you know, fights back into the pandemic. So that one had a lot of viewings on it. But other than that, it's been staying pat between 300 and 350,000 viewers for these fights. And I mean, all Top Rank can do is just keep showing them from the bubble, you know how they get down. But Bob Arum is just gonna pump out more fights. Is according to him, that's what he wants to do. He wants to keep putting out more fights, keep these guys busy, and being able to put out a product that people will like. And again, the numbers might not show that people like it, but the numbers also show that there is a base of boxing fans that do want to see fights, no matter how popular the name is. But they definitely want to see some cards. They definitely want to see some fights. And this is a good situation for your fighters like Clay Collard and other guys that are building that momentum, building that cult following. And I mean, like I said, man, those big fights are coming soon. And hopefully we still get those big fights without fans. And I think that's the biggest thing, because that's where promoters make some of their monies, from the live gate, from people coming in and watching the fight. So we go see how this goes, but Bob Arum keep pumping out them fights, man. You doing something right, at least.
I think we need to have a house meeting, y'all.
Alright.
Aots, Art of the Signs, the realest boxing podcast in these internet streets.
Boxing? I want to see somebody knock that motherfucker's head off.
The realest, Justin Adams, bringing you that real boxing news, analysis, breakdowns, previews.
Hey, yo! Shut the up!
Come hold it down with the realest every Friday. Google and Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud.
I mean, really, man, we could just you up.
Fine. I guess I'll go.
One of the biggest fights of the year would be Canelo versus TBD. You know what I'm saying? They still haven't found an opponent for him as of yet. The story was at first that it was supposed to be Derevyanchenko, but Derevyanchenko now is about to finalize a deal with Jermall Charlo, which would be an awesome fight. And I think it's about that's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. But Derevyanchenko went other route to go fight Charlo. So there's news that offer was made to Jason Quigley, another middleweight guy, but not as popular as the rest of the guys, not as accomplished as the other guys. But supposedly there's an offer that's been made to Quigley, and it's just like what's going on? Are they not able to get the opponents necessary for Canelo? And I think it's going to be super difficult to do that, because a lot of these opponents, a lot of the guys are going to be able to make that Canelo money. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to get a good payday off of Canelo, and that's going to be kind of hard, because, like, again, some of the money, some of what comes is with the live gate. People coming in watching the fight, buying tickets to watch the fight. Like, now all your money is totally based on how many people are going to buy it and stream it, or they buy it or stream it, whether it be pay-per-view. Well, for Canelo, it has to be pay-per-view. However, it's going to be hard to put together a quality pay-per-view card when you have most people wanting to make the money that Canelo makes, or at least close to it. Because, you know, anybody that fights Canelo knows it's going to be a payday. But part of that payday came from the live gate and people buying tickets. So I could see the difficulty of finding Canelo an opponent.
What time should I set the alarm for?
So it's kind of funny to me that now it's just going to be difficult. It's just going to be difficult to find a match or find a quality opponent for him that people won't scoff at or people won't moan and groan about. And again, it's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how hard it could really be, but it's definitely going to be hard. And I mean, there's many options for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? You could go from 160 all the way to 175, which to me is going to be hard. I think it's harder for anyone to lose the weight than it is to gain it. And Canelo's been on that move up So him going down to 160 would be kind of difficult unless the right names are being brought out. Honestly, you can go Demetrius Andrade's way. He has a belt, middleweight. Like I said, him going to middleweight might be a little difficult for him. For a guy that has a belts in 3 different weight classes, it seems like it's difficult for him to find a quality opponent. And I don't know, maybe Canelo just probably doesn't feel the need to fight right now because of what's going on and how things are being handled. Because a lot of things from Canelo himself have not been contradictory to how he feels. Like he's talked about the fact that he would want to get back in the ring, but he knows that he's gonna have to take a lot. He's gonna have to sacrifice things just for him to be able to put on a good card or a correct card. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, Canelo back in the ring is gonna be good regardless. You just hope he doesn't take on sub-level competition like a Jason Quigley and those type of guys. Like, you want him to take on those guys that could be A-listers, guys that can be, they could bring in money as well. But let's see how this goes. September 12th is the date that they're aiming for Canelo's return. So hopefully, he has a great opponent that he could take on and be able to carry on this September legacy of him making these September fights.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Who next?
Art of the Signs with the Realest.
I'm the best heavyweight champion of the world. I'm have WBC with me. I want who next?
You can follow Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. JA_the Realest. Art of Side Boxing. That's ARTOFSCI Boxing.
You're a regular from down the street. What are you doing?
I want who next?
Making some other news was actually the Nevada Sports Athletic Commission. State Athletic Commission. I said Sports Athletic. Nevada State Athletic Commission. There was a Senate bill passed for the state of Nevada. Senate Bill 29 was filed on November 18th, introduced in February 2019, and now it was brought into rule of May of, I think they approved it May of this year, and made it official, like it became official July 1st. And essentially what it does is it makes the information passed off from these commissions, the promoter groups, the boxers themselves, it makes it privatized. So for example, a big thing here would be fighter pay. Being able to take those fighter pay numbers to see what people make, what the value is, what they bring to the table, things of that nature. But now they've made those things private. And essentially, at first what will happen is, like, let's just say, let's do Canelo. Canelo wants to fight Devin Chico. He's defending his middleweight title. So those parties that are involved, the WBC, Golden Boy, Devin Chico's people, Andre Rozier, those guys would usually give that information to the boxing commission at that time, whether it be WBC, WBO, whoever. Those people then take that information and then send it to the commission, which is the NSAC. And now they're doing it to where only those parties involved will have access to that information. Where sometimes what will happen is sometimes these boxer purses will be leaked out. Same thing that happened with Fury and Wilder. With Fury and Wilder 2 happened. Actually, was it 2 or 1? I want to say 1. When it was reported that Wilder wasn't getting paid much, and the next thing you know, it leaked out that Wilder and Fury were actually making more money on their guarantees. I mean, they were making more money on outside of their purses than they were on their actual purse. And those type of things were probably going to be curbed, maybe a little more. You know what I'm saying? That's because the biggest thing, the reason why they had to report this stuff in the first place is because the Muhammad Ali Act, which basically states that all this information has to be reported and it has to be signed off on, and there can be no other outside deals. Like, you can't, like, Canelo has his deal. He doesn't need to report the fact that Tecate is going to pay him just to have him on the trunks. Like, that's not necessary. But in terms with the purse, in terms of the people around him getting paid, that type of information has to be put out, and it has to be put out to the proper commissions and the proper people. So I know it's not too much, you know what I'm saying? It probably sounds like there's no need to even make it a law, but it actually is, you know? Like, guys like, who's a good reporter besides me, myself? Let me see. You could do Coppinger, you can do Thomas Hauser. Like, those guys were able to report how some fighters were getting paid. And that was because you had someone in the camp linking out that information or putting that information out there. But now that should be a lot harder to do with this Senate Bill 29 being put out. And this is just for Nevada. This isn't for all the states, even though most states already participated in not letting those numbers go. But Nevada now is officially another state. And the only state now that really gives access to those pay numbers now is California. And Arizona is like that too, but there's not many fights in Arizona like there are in Cali. But being able to report, being able to privatize those numbers gives those numbers more worth than what they were before. Like, again, when these numbers would be released and people found out how much people were getting paid, McGregor and Mayweather, how much they were getting paid, you know, those type of numbers influenced future actions, whether we see them or not. So it's some litigation they had to put together, but either way, these numbers are still going to get leaked. People still going to figure out how much boys are getting paid, and you know, pocket watching was never supposed to be something people get paid for. But hey, I mean, this is how people rock, especially nowadays where people are all in your business. So yeah, privatize those numbers, but trust me, they're going to find a way to get out that boys is making 50 to 75 million on fights. We'll see how this goes. We'll keep an eye on it.
You got to hear this.
Art of the Science with the realist, Justin Adams.
I drive a Dodge Stratus!
Bringing you the realest boxing news, analysis, breakdowns, and previews.
To this day! To this day!
Follow the realist at JA_the realist. Also, Art of Sci Boxing. ARTOFSCI Boxing.
What you waiting for, man? Get out of here if I cut some bacon off your back.
Check me out every Friday evening on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Goodbye!
Alright, so some matches were made. Some were pushed back, some were postponed. Well, I ain't got too many. I got a couple. So your boy Arthur Beterbiev, light heavyweight champion, his match with Meng is going to be pushed to September 25th. That's where they're planning on having his fight. Obviously, fans or no fans, they don't know yet. They're pushing it to be, they want to have fans there, but it looks like it might be a no fan situation as well. But Beterbiev being back in the ring after his competitive fight with Volsdik, it's good to see him back in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And a matchroom card, the one that McCaskill and Breakles is a part of, that fight, though, that card is going to be outside in Tulsa on August 15th. That'd be awesome to see. I think Eddie Hearn and his gang are trying to do the same thing in England for their Matchroom Fight Camp series. But having fights outside is not totally outside of the norm. I mean, they did a few for Cali. I remember Victor Ortiz and Berto fighting outside, and that actual card was pretty decent. Isaac Dogbo, he should be back in the ring July 21st. He's gonna be part of the Oscar Valdez card. And then Mick Conlon, he'll be back in the ring August 15th in Belfast, fighting in front of his folks, I should say. And then one last fight, Big Baby Miller, Joshua Miller, taking on the Nevada Commission. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to have a commission hearing on August 5th for Big Baby Miller. As you guys know, he tested positive for another banned substance again. I think this is now the 5th test he's failed. He was supposed to, I'll give you some quick. When he was a kickboxer, he tested positive then and was embarrassed for it. Then when he was supposed to be the replacement for the Anthony Joshua fight, that fell through because he tested all 3 separate tests. He tested positive. So he was suspended. He was reinstated. Well, actually, he wasn't suspended because he doesn't have a license in New York. But other commissions just didn't want him to fight in their state. He had to sit out for a few months, Then he came back. Bob Arum said he wanted to give him a chance. He wanted him to be able to put out his talent, and he was supposed to fight soon. And next thing you know, he tests positive again for another banned substance. And on August 5th, the Nevada Commission is going to have a hearing for him, and a lot of people are pushing for the lifetime ban. I think there are other ways of showing Big Baby Miller the consequence of what he's doing is wrong, and it's a repeat thing. This is not something that was a one-off. This is something that's been happening for the last 3 or 4 years with Big Baby Miller. So I really hope he's able to get his shit together, but I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I don't think the arrow's leaning towards his way. But again, we'll keep, like I said, August 5th, he's in court. We'll keep our eyes on it and see what they do with your boy.
Can I help you?
Allow me to introduce myself.
Art of the Signs with the realest, Justin Aots.
All right, man. Get out of that jalopy and let's talk some business.
Aots, bringing you that real boxing news, analysis, breakdowns, previews.
I am the Mac Daddy. I play it straight up, yo.
Come kick it with your boy every Friday. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud.
You get the hell out of my hood.
Before I sign off, it's only one card happening today, Saturday. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P will be headlining a heavyweight card in Germany on ESPN Plus. It's going to show on 2 p.m. Central Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. By the time this thing actually drops, the card should have started. And again, it's R.I.P. He's decent for Caballel, decent fighter. Moving up, you know what I'm saying? He was a European champion. But the belt's not on the line today, so be able to see him in action. And again, before I leave, just R.I.P. to 2 guys. First, Travell Mazion, 24-year-old undefeated middleweight prospect, part of Golden Boy, died outside of his hometown of Austin, Texas, in a car crash. Another person died. 2 or 3 people were injured. But he was an entertaining boxer as well. He looked like he had the tools to become a talented boxer and be able to even get a belt if he, you know what I'm saying, within the next couple of years. So it's sad to see that man go. And then Chicago legend Tom O'Shea, 81 years old due to COVID. Now, from what I'm reading, I don't know if he died on last week or in April, but they put out a story about him yesterday. But evidently, Tom O'Shea has passed away from COVID. He was a Chicago boxing coach and an English teacher. 378 amateur fights without a loss. It's huge. Was able to affect the lives of people like Nate Jones, Joseph Sikora. He's been a part of a lot of people's lives. He was able to fight in amateur events, Muhammad Ali. Well, at that time, Cassius Clay was going in. And the O'Shea name is associated with boxing and fighting out here in Chicago. I think it was like 4 brothers, including Tom. But Tom seems like he was the more accomplished amateur-wise. And, when he passed, or when the news came out that he had passed, it did hit Chicago boxing a certain way. And there was a lot of outpouring love for him. So, R.I.P. to Tom O'Shea and R.I.P. to Travell Mazion. You know what I'm saying? Gotta keep the sport going. You gotta keep these fights going. People stay safe. Do what you're told. If you need, I know wearing masks are hard. I know at work when I wear a mask, man, it is hard to breathe. And sometimes you gotta take that thing off, get a breath, put it back on. But just for the other people, man, let's just try to do what we can to stay safe. Think for yourself too. You know what I'm saying? Do your own research, do your own things, and figure it out and apply those appropriately. Another week, baby. We get down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not too much going on, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a tad. But like I said, follow social medias. Don't forget to tune in Students of the Game with me, Joseph Gregory, and Chris Rouse every Thursday. I don't know if Chris is working another Chicago Dogs game this Thursday. Go Dogs. We don't know that as yet, but we definitely will be on. Don't forget SOTG page on Facebook, And then you can follow at SOTG Chicago on Twitter. Like, I'm everywhere, bro. I'm providing all this everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget to subscribe and like to my channels as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, catch me every Friday for Aots, SOTG on Thursdays, even though today is Saturday. But I got y'all regardless. Holla at your boy. Thank you for listening to The Art of the Science.
You better start listening and stop playing.
We drop every Friday evening on iTunes and SoundCloud, so subscribe.
I don't care who he is, man. I don't care what he does, man.
You can follow us on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Art of Sci Boxing. That's ARTOFSCI Boxing. Also, JA_the Realest. Appreciate you tuning in.
Appreciate the listen. Come back to join us.
Or catch us on our social medias.
I love y'all very much. Peace out.